Welcome to this free seminar on data analytics. This is Mexibog Innovation Hub, a tech IT firm in Abuja, based in Abuja, Nigeria. We are into tech trainings, we provide consultancy, we build softwares, applications, and the main thing we do is more into training. And people have come here who knew nothing about data analytics before, and in the course of the training, they were able to gain so much knowledge that they are thriving in their place of work now. So we have spent so much time trying to put everything in order. Our speakers are also waiting. So basically, the seminar will provide an in-depth exploration of the key data analytics concepts and trends with focus on practical applications, career prospects, and building a strong data analytics portfolio. My name is Stanley Olalike. I'm the director of Mexibog Innovation Hub Abuja here. We have a couple of resource persons, facilitators, who will get to know in the course of this seminar. So not to waste much of our time, one of our highly respected facilitators, resource person, will be starting the first session of the seminar, which is a data analytics and data visualization. In case you are new, you don't know anything about data analytics, we've had people who don't know anything at all. And within a short period of time, they're able to pick things up. So Zara will be joining us. We'll be taking over from now. Thank you. Zara, over to you.
Hello, good morning, all. You're all welcome to this our brief seminar at Mexibog Innovation Hub. Hello, hope everybody is with me. Can you all hear me?
Yeah, we're listening. Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. So as Stanley said, I stand Zara Malabukar, a data analyst. So I'm into data analytics for the past 5 years, almost closing up to my 6th year. So I'm proficient in using Excel for data analysis and using Power BI for data analysis. So I'm just trying to maintain the bandwidth, but at the end of the training, I'm definitely going to put on my video so that everybody will see my face. So in case we cross our path in future, you know that this is from Mexibog. So as Mr. Stanley said, we had a series of training. We have collaborated with other agencies to provide training on data analysis. So at Mexibog Innovation Hub, we have our training center, we have our training hall. So the nature of our training is both virtual and physical, with a lot of resource people involved. We are not only into data analytics. We have other trainings that is being done, including teen, children training. We all cover this, and then he also provide consultant services to agencies. So without wasting much of your time, let me share my screen with you people to give you the little that I have for you today. So I'll try to make it brief. I'll try to make it as brief as possible and as engaging as possible. Sorry. Okay, let me put it in a presentation mode. So this is just a seminar on data analysis. So this is one of our materials that we actually use for our trainings. So the goal of data analysis is just to equip the participant with the skill to analyze data. Yes, in data at Mexibog, we have an experience of people not knowing anything about data analytics, but they ended up using data analysis for their day-to-day activity at their workplace, for their activities within the office, and they actually use it to do a side job they use it in their workplaces for their activities, and then they actually use it to have an extra income coming in as a tool. So for you to be a data analyst, your first point of call is you having the knowledge of analytics. Knowledge of analytics starts with our basic statistics that we have learned back in our school, when we are in secondary school. Maybe if in university you're opportune to do like a math related or engineering courses that you did your statistics and other things. So these are the basic knowledge of statistics, our mean, median, and mode, our averages that we already know. So it also actually applies to data analysis, and it is the key to data analysis. So I also want us to know that having the knowledge of analytics, statistic is the key and is the backbone for every data analysis that you're going to make. And it also includes your logical thinking. How do you think? How do you see things around you? Okay, let's say there is a cup of tea on your table. So the simplest thing is, how can I position this cup to have a different view, to have a different perspective of it? So this actually applies to data analysis. I can be like, you can give me a task to do. The way that I'm going to execute it and the way that Mr. Stanley is going to execute it, definitely because we are different individuals, you're going to see difference in how it has been done. You can say that, okay, the training is by 10. So I can walk into the training center physically to use his resources there to present to do my presentation, or I can decide to stay where I am due to our technological world here. So I can just stay at my house and do the presentation. So at the end of the day, things has been achieved. So this is how likely you should start thinking of what analytics it actually entails. So when you see it as something very easy and you're trying to relate it to your day-to-day activity, it's going to be like very easy for you to maneuver when you see things, and then you start to like solve your problem from the easiest question that you can ask. So at the end of this training, you're going to have a little or a brief overview of how to use Excel to do the analysis, how to use Power BI. From the beginning of the training, I've already told you that I'm an expert in data Excel analysis using Excel and analysis using Power BI, being it from the same company. They are both Microsoft-based products. So this is my expertise. But I have also a knowledge on SQL, my MSQL, Microsoft SQL. And then I have little knowledge on Python, but my expertise is basically based on the Excel and the Power BI. It's not that I'm limiting myself or I'm trying to limit you to this 4 tools that I've already mentioned. No, there are lots of free source tools, and if you really have the knowledge of one, you can easily find yourself easy relating with your other tools. So why data analysis is important? So I've already said it helps you to make informed decision using your data, your historical data, to like understand what is going to happen in the future, which is a predictive analysis, or even to know, let's say, okay, as easy as, okay, I'm living in a particular position. I know that once the time is like 12, there's going to be a traffic, and the traffic will last like for the next 2 hours. So what is my best bet? Okay, I have an appointment by 1. So my best bet is to leave where I am to 12 before the traffic. Sorry, is someone trying to talk? Okay. Then efficiency and optimization. It makes your works very easy. Let's say like the Power BI that I'm talking about. It helps you to do like routine updates, refresh, maybe when a new set of data comes in, depending on how you like set your refresh period of your dashboard or of a report, so it helps. It's efficient and optimize your work while you're there resting. Identifying trends and opportunity, as I explained, using the traffic, staying in a particular location. Problem solving, so maybe you're just trying to take anomalies within a data set that was given to you. Okay, what is happening in this data set? Okay, your boss asks you to do something. Okay, these are the data set. Can you help me please check? Is there any empty row or empty cell? Okay, help me count. How many people do we have? Or you get just this little information. So without you stressing yourself, like doing the normal generic, okay, put a filter on my columns or on my rows, or how to, you get it. So the analytics that you're going to employ in it is going to help you at large. And then competitive advantage. So provides an edge by leveraging data-driven insight. So as the slang goes now, they said that, as the slogan goes, that data is life, data is oxygen. So if you have data, you're like the boss of wherever you are. Sorry. So what is data analysis? So data analysis is the process of inspecting, cleaning, transforming, and modeling data to discover useful information and support decision making. As I've already explained, yes, data analysis involves ETL process. What is ETL process? Extraction, transformation, and loading. If you first get your data, you first clean it and then you transform it. So after transforming it, then you upload it, you load it, and then you start bringing out information. It's just like you trying to make a stew. So you just have to get your ingredient from the market, you wash your ingredients, you blend it, and then you start the process of making. So this process, right from the start of buying the ingredient, so the process of making stew has already started. So this is exactly how data analytics applies to. So what data analytics is trying to like make you do is, okay, this is a routine activity that I've already done. Okay, so every month I get a set of data from so place, wherever it's laying. So the person has to give me a data set, and for this data set that is given, this is my area of interest, this is the reports that I need to get from those data sets. So you can like actually design it in such a way that okay, in Power BI, every step that you apply in cleaning the data applies to every new set of data you like employ into the same source of the data. So it takes everything from the start. If you refresh it, it takes every level, and then it makes your work easier. So you don't have to like every month start the process all over again. So once it has been done, it's there. Except if there are some little discrepancies in the data that you need to take your time, so that you're going to achieve what you need to achieve. So without wasting your time, so application area of data analysis, banking and finance, healthcare, insurance, transportation, retail, government, and education. All this walk of life, all these sectors, they have a certain level of, they have, not even certain, because most of them rely on this historic data, what they have collected, to like ascertain. Okay, let's say take the healthcare sector. Whenever you go to a hospital, once you open a file, whenever you visit the hospital, for whatever reason, you are being referred to your folder. Okay, this is your EMR number, or this is your hospital number. So you need to go and get request for the file. It should be posted. You get, so all these things are, they're like trying to retain your data right from your name, your gender, your age, your address. So these are the little detail. So it should, in case of future, anything that happens to you in future, they actually refer to it as easy as, okay, I'm having so problem. So what's wrong with you? Do you have history of so in your family? So they like refer to. So all this entails, they are driving insight from the data that you have already given, or from the data that they have already gotten from you due to your previous health history. So This also applies to other areas, just like your education. Okay, the semester has started, so your tests results will be recorded, your assignments will be recorded, maybe their presentation, your exams. Then at the end of the semester, they're going to say, okay, for this course, this is your score and this is your course grade. So it's just like a normal data analysis has been existing in our day-to-day activity. It's just the way that it's being perceived or it's being like used. That was what like actually hindered the actual thing, or how to like utilize it the proper way. So with this innovation of new tools and the people like Mexibog coming into the society with the little things that they have, it makes it easier for people to understand what data analysis is and how you can actually achieve a lot of things with a set of data or a set of history wherever it is. It can be a qualitative analysis, it can be a quantitative analysis. You can think of whatever kind of data you have. You can actually use these tools to like achieve what you need to achieve. So okay, I'll just like skip this slide because it doesn't like directly. So I'll just like to skip this two slides, the data information and the types of data. So the major types of data analysis are the descriptive analysis, diagnostic analysis, predictive analysis, and prescriptive analysis. So when you're like into what data analysis is actually is, you're going to bound your knowledge. You're going to like, okay, I want to do data analysis. I want to analyze this set of data that I already have. What do I need to do? What kind of analysis am I going to employ? So you're just like trying to understand the what, the why, the when, where, and how the things have happened, and then how can you bring out information from what you already have. So the type of analysis that actually like exists in this current world are like the descriptive analysis. Okay, you're going to like maybe the person just wants you to help him. Okay, can you please go and inquire something for me and then describe it for me? Or maybe I want to go somewhere and I don't know the place. So you like describing to that person, you're like using some little knowledge. Okay, being specific. Okay, I'm going to Mexibog, Innovation Hub. Where is Mexibog? The very first thing I'm going to tell you, okay, Mexibog is in zone 5. So when I say, okay, zone 5 where? Do you know UBA? So this is like you're trying to describe exactly where Mexibog is. Diagnostic. Okay, you already have something and it's already working. But you want to check there are some anomalies that is happening that you need to check. So these things like okay, you're going to like understand how it happens, how it's been done, and then you're going to like, okay, this is what is happening and this is what I have suggested. Why have this happened? This is the reason why you're having so problem, and this is how you're going to tackle it. So all this thing came from maybe the brief information that he has given you about something. Predictive analysis is just like doing a forecast. So like forecast, okay, I have a data, okay, next year by this time, what is my income growth? So maybe from the data that you already have, or maybe your sales, okay, this is a heat period. So what goes first? Can I sell a sweater? Do people need sweater in this period more? So from your historic data, you can actually say that, okay, no, I don't think in this period we have sold any sweater, but in December we have sold a lot of sweaters in the areas that are very cold. So maybe once it's December, I'm going to stock my store with so item, because due to the period and the season, people like venture into it. Predictive analysis, so that is the predictive, and then prescriptive. How should we take action? Maybe you have already know where your problem is, and then it's trying to tell you that, okay, this is your problem. Okay, we need to like work for 9 hours in my office and we need a generator, but for the cost of generator now, this is the cost. So you already have your like invoices laying somewhere, so you can just do your analytics. Okay, this show that in a year we're going to spend like 1 million or more to, okay, what is the cost of solar? If I put a solar with this amount, how can I? So all of these things, the data that you already have that you think is nothing will give you idea of how you're going to like utilize it. So I don't know if you have any question as regard the preamble of data analytics. So in the absence of any question, I'll just briefly breeze you through what am I using Excel to do, because I think I'm almost out of my time because I'm allocated just 30 minutes to do my presentation. So I think in the next 15 minutes or so, I should be off, and I have like 2 more parts to this presentation that I need to do. So any question from the audience? Let me pause for like a minute if there's any question from you people, or I should continue.
Hello, if you have question, please ask. So there's still another section for questions later, but you can still ask now, or you can note down your question.
Okay,
later.
fine. If I can do that, it's actually fine. Okay. So let me just go into what data analysis using Excel entails. So as I suspect, or I'm going to assume that most of us know our generic column and row table that we actually input our data, which is the Excel. The Excel has actually like a rows and a column, so it's like a tabular presentation of what you have. So we refer to it as a structural kind of data. The data is structured; it has a structure. Unlike our videos, our audios, we refer to them as unstructured kind of data. So for you to consume it, you have to do a lot of work and you have to employ a lot of tools to like put a structure to the data. So in using Excel for data analysis entails you using your pivot tables and your pivot charts. What does pivot table do? Pivot table try to analyze your data sets that you already have. Maybe you have like 50 columns of data, or you have 20 columns of data like that you need to use. Okay, so pivot table tries to summarize. Pivot
Hello,
table
Zara.
yes, sir.
Please, can we have it in presentation mode?
Okay,
So that
okay,
will be
okay.
natural.
So is that okay?
Yes, better. Thank you.
Yes. So pivot table try to
Yes.
summarize. Pivot table try to summarize what you have as your data sets, and then helps you to like drive charts from it directly without you stressing yourself. So how does pivot table works? So when like, okay, because this is a seminar and I'm actually using my phone, I should have loved to, but nonetheless, so pivot table, you can get a pivot table in the inside tab of your Excel. So once you click on your inside, you're going to see a pivot. So you can just click on the pivot. So it's going to give you a brief of your column name. So depending on what you will need to like, let's say, okay, my names are already in column 1, which are laying in rows. So I want to get them on a column. So you just pick it and take it as a column item. So it will do that for you without you going back, copying and pasting or transposing and doing a lot of activity just for you to access that one. So like data Excel will help, pivot table will help you do all these things. You're going to have tabs, different tabs to place your information either in the column or as a row or as a filter or as a value. So value definitely has to be like a numeric. Yes, it can be a text, but it can only pick a text. Maybe you're trying to count the true and false, or the yes and no, or the ones and zeros that are already there. So that's how it works for the value column. And then why do we use Excel for data analysis? Excel is a tool that we like actually use maybe right from our secondary school, that computer appreciation, that is what we call them. Then so usually like when you finish secondary school, people like want to go into appreciation. So if you have done computer appreciation, definitely you have done Microsoft Word, you have done Excel, you have done PowerPoint. Yes, in some places they do PowerPoint. So it's just because of the it's a common tool, so people are more conversant with it. And then if your data set are not that large, because Excel has a limitation. So if they're not that large, maybe you are just having like 50 or 30 row of data, fine, you can use data and Excel to do your analysis. Maybe you can use your data column, you can do your calculations there. And then the pivot charts, it will help you to like draft your reports as you're doing, because once you click on the columns that, or once you have dropped your pivot table, it will like automatically, by clicking on it, right clicking and clicking the pivot charts, it's going to give you a report of what you have already done. So without you dragging and doing some things, except you're going to do like maybe some little editing for the colors and the positioning. What's a pivot table? As I told you, to summarize large data sets, it allows you to do a quick data aggregation. That's our statistics. So it helps you to do the statistics by just clicking a button without you like doing the real calculation, doing your equal to, plus, minus, divided by, all those kind of things. And the pivot table can be adjusted dynamically by dragging and dropping the fields, as I've told you. Maybe you just, they are in the column, but you would want to view them as a row. So you can just do that by dragging it to the appropriate column that you need to just view it. And then creating and customizing, okay, as I've told you. So this is it. So you select the range, you go to insert, click on pivot table, and choose whether to place the pivot table in a new or existing worksheet. And the normal best practice is to drop it as a new worksheet. And then by customizing it, dragging it to the row, the columns, the values, and the filter area. So it basically has 4 places. That's the row item, the column item, the value, and the filter area. And then you can use the value field setting to summarize the data. That is which statistic you need to employ. Is it an average that you need to check? Is it a sum? Is it a minimum or a maximum or a count? So it helps you to do that without you stressing yourself. So the chart is like a normal statistical charts that we know: the bar charts, the line chart, the bar chart, the pie chart, the donut chart. A lot of charts are actually provided in the Excel charts that you can use. And then okay, this is more hands-on. And then there's a conclusion. So the Excel parts, which is an accessible and powerful tool for organizing and analyzing small sets of data that didn't exceed 1,004,000. 1 million, I think it's either 40,000 or 4,000. That's the limit of Excel worksheets. But the new Excel, the most recent Excel product, I think you have a way of interconnecting different sheets and using it to do your analysis. Yes, at least it's coming up, but you can't view everything on a single sheet. So sorry. So let me go into Power BI. I think, sorry, please. I need to check something. Okay. So let me change this. I'll stop sharing and get the other documents on Power BI, and then try to like briefly go through it. As I've told you, Power BI it's actually so Power BI it's actually a kind of, it's actually a Microsoft product that is used for data analysis, which is more powerful than Excel. But Power BI has been within Excel for a while due to its functionality, and its advancement. So it's been removed as a separate document, but it has been within the it has been within the Excel, because currently whatever you do with whatever step that you apply in, whatever step or whatever process you apply in Excel, this is like exact replica in Power BI. It's just because Power BI is a kind of a low code kind of tool. So it has like it's having a record of what you actually have. Sorry, please. Okay. It's actually have like a record of every step that you have been through while doing all this activity of the ETL. I've told you that's the extraction and the transformation of your data just to arrive at your report or dashboard to meet up with time or to meet up with something that we are asked to. So Power BI, it's actually advance of it's just advance of Microsoft Excel. So but it's like it's much more user friendly, and when it comes to the transformation part, it's actually more interesting and more user friendly. So basically Power BI has three different paths. It has the Microsoft Power BI desktop where you do your analysis, where you do your develop your reports, where you do your dashboards and everything. And the desktop has a Power Query part within the Power BI that you actually have to like use it. And then we also have the Power BI service, which is a cloud product. So once you're done building your dashboards and everything, so you like publish it so that that's where the collaboration starts. People that are within your team can have access to what you have, and then they can like make contribution to it. And then it has a mobile app, so mobile application of Power BI, like after doing your reports and everything, you can have it handy. Handy in the sense that, okay, this is something that I need to be consuming every now and then. I just may have to make it handy. So Power BI has this power of doing it for you without you stressing yourself. Sorry, please, I'm trying to locate where my folder is. Please don't mind me. I'm almost there. Okay. Hello, can anyone see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
Sure, we can.
yes, we can.
as I've already told you, like a Power BI is a cloud base, a kind of a cloud base, but it can be like within your desktop, within your local place. So it can also be as on the cloud. So it's not like just a cloud, and it provides an intelligence service. Is a collection of business intelligence and data visualization tool. Yes, you do your cleaning, everything, and then it has an interface that you can actually visualize what you have as a row and column. So it has that power. And I've already told you that Power BI is user friendly. It offers like just an impressive drag and drop feature, like you just drag, drop, click, and then it goes. That's how it does. You don't have to like start resizing and doing a lot of things. As I've told you, we have the Power BI desktop, we have the Power BI service, and we have the Power BI mobile. So the Power BI mobile can be for the iOS as our iPhone users and the Android devices. Yes, you can use it. The Power BI service is just as like a software as a service. Is in the cloud for everybody within the team to consume what he wants to at any time. And this is an interface that provides collaboration. So after doing my reports and everything, to anybody that is within it can actually have a feel of what I'm doing, depending on the administrative level that is being given to him. Is it just a user, a viewer, a contributor, and man admin, this kind of privilege level. So as I've told you, why Power BI? Because it's user-friendly tool for creating interactive dashboard, for collaboration, for a good custom display. Yes, it has that rapid prototyping. It actually has those command of our generic Microsoft tool, copy and paste Control Z, Control Y, all those kind of shortcuts actually apply to the Power BI interface. So this is the Power BI desktop for you. So as you can see, it has like the ribbons up there, the file, the home, the insert, the modeling, the view, and then everyone has it. And then to the far left, we have the report view, we have the data view, and we have the model view. Down there, you can see the page. Maybe you have different pages of reports, of which it has a way of interconnecting different pages of reports. When like the training is like a full blown, we're going to have that. We have the filter pen, we have the visualization pen, and then we have the Zoom canvas. So it's just like a typical Microsoft tool that you have all these items, except maybe some functionality and some things may differ a little, but this is a typical Power BI desktop interface that you can think of, except my Power BI is like a dynamic kind of a tool that they do updates every now and then. Maybe in the next few months, you're going to see different features to it. Sorry. So what is a data visualization? So data visualization entails like telling a story with the rows and columns of data that you already have. What are rows and columns of data? Your structured data. So if your name is in column 1, your surname is in column 2, it doesn't make like a real sense. But by the time I try to put your name and your surname on a card just to display that, okay, this is the person that I'm talking about, and this is his bio data, or kind of maybe everybody has a card of his own, or I have a filter that I can do it, and then the bio data comes up. So it makes it more interesting, and like your audience can actually achieve. But how can I do it? You're doing it using the visualization mode, that's the data visualization, which is the report view of the Power BI. So design, you can make your design, you can communicate, like you can say inside about the data, and then a lot of information. So these are the visualization pen. So I try to expand it here. So as you can see, they're just our generic data visuals that we know right from secondary school days, but they're like a kind of automated and like more user friendly in parts of editing, formatting, like just to make it look more attractive and interesting. So as we can see to the left, we have a Power BI chart here. So immediately you drop, this is a typical of how you can achieve it. But after you do some little editing, some filtering and other playing around with the colors, the shapes, and then the shadows and all other provided formatting for each visual that you use, then it's going to make it more powerful and interesting. So this is Power BI for you. I think from here, I'm going to say that I am done, except if I have questions, or we're going to hold on till the end of the session. So at this point, I'm going to say that even though I've exceeded my time, Mr. Stanley, so I think I've come to the end of my presentation.
Okay, thank you so much, Zara.
So, thank you. Welcome, Mr. Stanley. Okay, I promise that people will see my face, right? Let me just briefly put on my
All right.
my video. So this is me, Zara Malabukar, a data analyst, a specialist and an expert in financial data analysis. So thank you so much for your audience, and we hope to see your faces in our Mexibog Innovation Hub, coming in for different kind of trainings. Thank you so much. And please don't hesitate to contact us if you have any glitches, any problem. We are always here. So we're here to like build each other and then see where we can take each other to have each other's back. Thank you so much for your audience. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Zara. Thank you for the wonderful session. Yeah, we could see people raising up their hand. Gloria, I think, do you have a question for us, for Zara? I believe we should have more hands.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. Yes, I have a question. Thank you very much for the insights that you've given us on data analysis. But my question is from the Excel part of data analysis. I didn't really get that side. And I was asking for slides, and I didn't also see slides, because slides has a way of, helping you follow when the trainer is teaching. So I lost it from the Excel side of data analysis. If you can just do like a refresh, I would appreciate it. Hello?
Sorry, you're mute. You're mute.
Okay, sorry. Okay, you said from the Excel aspect.
Yes, the Excel aspect of the data analysis, even the Power BI one, I lost it from that side because she was no longer sharing the slides. So I don't know if she can do like
Are you sure it's not from your end?
a
Because
maybe I don't know, because I was not seeing anything.
I think it's from your head.
But she wasn't sharing the slide.
Share it.
she shared the slide. I could see.
She shared the slide.
Okay, let me
Go.
come in at this point. Okay. Sorry, the person that is asking the question. So our advice, because of the time, the time that we have, and then we have some presenters that are coming up now. So our advice that maybe if you can like actually browse what the Microsoft Power BI documentation, or just like a summary of what the Power BI is. I think it's the information is handy, and you can actually relate to what I've actually explained. Because even as it is, I've already told you that this is a seminar and it's going to be like a brief bit more presenters coming up. So I need to like utilize the time that I already have and that I can give. So you can always refer to that. Or I'll just drop my number on the chat if you want, or you can actually send a mail or to our WhatsApp handle of Mexibog Innovation Off, and then it's going to be communicated to you. Sorry, please, for the inconveniences. Sorry.
It's okay. Thank you very much, ma'am. I'll do that.
Okay, I can see two more people hands up.
Okay. Harris, can we have you?
Yes, good
Harris?
morning, everybody. Thank you for the wonderful presentation. I have a question. What's the difference between data analysis and data analytics?
They're actually just terminologies, Mr. Harris. Yes, there's no more. It's just like a grammatical form of it from my own understanding, because I did a little research, because it's just like a word that has been like used interchangeably depending on the grammar. At the present time, you're using it as the analysis. It's either analysis or analytics. They're actually like analysis, you can say it's like a process, like you're in the process of analyzing the data. So analytics, like, okay, I've already employed all the analytics that I need to. Like, okay, this is the reports and this is the analytics that I came up with. So I don't know. I will still stand to be corrected, but this is my understanding based on the written research that I did for my own self-consumption, my understanding from that. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Because I was thinking that analysis has to do with only analyzing the data, while analytics has to do with maybe gathering it, collecting, and everything.
Yes, as I just said, I said that analysis involves the process. So when you say process can take far as you gathering the data. Analytics can just be, okay, I've gotten the data, I've done my processes, and this is my report. So I've already employed my analytics on it. The data, okay, let's say I've given you a clean data and I'm sure of, you don't have to like go, so you can like actually do your analytics on it. You doing your statistics and everything just to bring out the information. So analysis is the process. Let's say, okay, the data is not clean, or you need to get the data by yourself. Okay, so all these things involves the analysis.
All right. Thank you very much,
So
Zara.
welcome. Thank you. You're welcome.
Any other question? I think that has been a question that has been a debate for long. People confuse analytics and analysis, just like she said, terminology, nomenclature, but you find out that it's still talking about the same thing, even though analytics still encompasses analysis. But while you are on the job, you find out that you are virtually doing the same thing. You get it? Are we together?
My turn is up,
Yes,
Mr.
thank
Stanley.
you, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Olakunle, please.
I want to thank you for this opportunity that you have brought to our doorstep to learn this data analysis. My question is, when she was talking about the basic chart for data visualization, she shared the screen, but I didn't really get what was on the slide because she was just moving it, bringing it, taking it back. So I just want to get the basic charts for the data visualization so that I can just put them down. So that's just my question.
Mr. Olakunle, at the end of the seminar, we'll provide the recorded version of this seminar for everyone,
Okay.
for every
Okay,
participant.
sir.
Of that. Yeah, and beyond that, this is just a tip of the iceberg. If you are in our class session, when people come for our trainings, after the training, they don't even want to go. I remember when we had the last graduation, some people they felt, what will I be doing on Saturdays? It has become like an addiction because you are used to coming and gaining new knowledge, meeting people with from different fields, from different backgrounds. So we'll provide you more details later in the course of even this seminar. But for now, so that we'll move forward, be doing another presentation. We have 2 more presentations.
My name is Dr. Adejo, and I'm in the training unit in here at Mexibog. So the title of my presentation will be the prospects of data analytics in the workplace. I'll also be discussing building your portfolio or resume, and then we'll also talk a bit about global opportunities. So data analytics is a field that has emerged and is very much part of our world now. And we see lots of its applications in different areas. So whether at work or at home or social media, all around, we see ourselves interacting a lot with data, and hence the need for proper analysis, optimized analysis of our data. And thank you very much, Mrs. Zera, for your presentation, which shed light a lot on the data analysis process and the tools as well, the tools. So we've seen that data analytics has to do with processing raw data and making informed decisions from it. So she highlighted some of the tools. Each tool has a specific area of focus or application. We have some of those tools where you do programming. We also have tools that are very user-friendly, where you can use the modules to do your analysis quickly. She also talked about the different data formats, structured data, unstructured data. And then we see that whether you are in healthcare or in finance or even in sports or in governments or marketing, social media, there's no industry now that doesn't rely on data analysis for optimization of their processes, improving their profits, and all of that. So we're going to see how data analytics is very much relevant in the workplace. So like I said, there's a high demand across industries, whether it's business, logistics, tech, healthcare, there's a high demand for the tools that data analytics provide. So with data analytics, we have improved decision making. It helps organizations to predict their trends, to reduce their costs, and to maximize profits. So it is very much relevant in improving the performance of organizations and companies. And then we also have career growth and competitive salaries. Because data analytics is in very much high demand, we see that there are lots of job opportunities for people who have these skills. So we have, even at the entry level, analysts earn well, and then as you progress onto the senior roles, the salaries are much significantly higher. So there are lots of job opportunities. There are lots of there's a high prospect for career growth in this area. And then also we have the areas of flexibility. So when you're working as a data analyst, you have opportunities for remote work, and then this helps you to have your work-life balance in place. So these are some of the highlights and prospects when it comes to data analytics. So say, for example, in the area of healthcare, we see that lots and lots of data are usually gathered. So data is gathered about patients, and then also for research purposes, even for hospital management, we have lots of data being gathered. Data analysts are needed in the healthcare industry for predictive analytics, patient diagnosis, medical research, and also to improve the hospital management. Hospital use data to predict disease outbreaks and also optimize treatment plans. So that's one of the areas of data analysis application in healthcare. When it comes to finance and banking, we see that data analytics is used for fraud detection, risk management, credit scoring, customer segmentation. Now let's imagine our banks in Nigeria with millions of customers, and they have to make decisions like who they should give loans to, who they should flag as criminals or people with criminal tendencies in terms of their transactions. So data analytics comes in handy for our banks, for CBN, for FIRS, for all organizations, insurance companies that are dealing with lots of financial data. So they are able to make intelligent decisions and also quick decisions based on the data that they have gathered over time, over the years and decades. And then across different categories of people, they are able to make these decisions using data analytic tools, using some of these tools that Zara talked about, Power BI or SQL, our Python. They are able to use these tools to make quick decisions, and these decisions affect their profits, affect their performance, and also affects the end user. We see data analytics being applied also in retail and e-commerce. So in that area, what is of concern to them are things like customer behavior analysis, inventory management, personalized marketing. And we also see that in our modern day world where we have our online marketplaces, big organizations like Amazon use data analysis to help recommend their products based on past purchases and browsing history. Now, imagine a large company like Dangote, Dangote Industries. Dangote, they are into so many products, and they will be gathering lots of data. So we have data that comes in from the different industries where they are doing business. For example, their refinery, their foodstuff, and all of that. Now, when they want to make decisions as to which industry to focus on, or even in terms of hiring, they will need to harness the data from the different sectors and then holistically combine it to make an informed decision. Such an organization would need to act fast. And that is why data analytics comes in handy. Bringing in all the data that has been gathered, automating the process, finding the insights, finding information, and also summarizing them in nice looking visuals that can help decisions. We also have in the area of energy and utilities, we also use data analytics. In logistics and transportation, data analytics is used for things like route optimization, fleet management, demand forecasting. So we have companies like Uber who need to have real-time analysis of the traffic situations and then to set their prices and then also optimize their driver routes. Definitely at the back of how they are able to operate efficiently and run smoothly are data analytics and the powerful tools that drive efficient data analysis and prediction. We also have in the media and entertainment industry, we also have in education, cutting across all areas of human endeavor, we have data analytics. So if you're considering it as a career option, it is a very viable career option because it is what is driving what is happening in the world today. So there are very much high prospects for data analytics in terms of work. So that's what we're looking at. So say you start the process of a career in data analytics, and then maybe you register with Mexibog and you start attending trainings and you start learning and building your skills, becoming proficient in the use of Excel, in the use of Power BI, you know, what would you need to do after you have gained skills and also experience? Another thing that will be important for you on the journey to being a data analyst is to build a strong portfolio or resume. So you've picked up your skills in Excel, in SQL, in Power BI, in Python, and you are able to take these raw data sets and transform them into nice visuals, and then also extract information from your data. You would also need to do hands-on projects. So you work on projects that will involve data cleaning and visualization, business reporting, and also a bit of machine learning, just as Mr. Stanley will show us later. By the time you have applied the skills you have gained into these practical projects, then you need to put it out. You need to put it out. And that's what we're talking about, your portfolio. So what will also guide you with in here at Mexibog is that we will show you how to build your portfolio. We'll show you how to build your resume. For example, we have the GitHub repository. So you create your GitHub repository, and as you do your projects, you can upload your results over there. So there you are showcasing the experience you've had and the skills you've had, and that puts you out there to get job opportunities. We also have LinkedIn. We'll also be showing you how you can use LinkedIn to highlight the skills and experience that you have gained in data analytics. So that's going to be very much part of the training process, not just equipping you with the skills, but also guiding you and showing you how you can put out what you have achieved, what you have learned, what you have gained out there. In addition to the certificate that you would also get after you have completed the training, your portfolio is very important. Your portfolio is very important. So you have done probably 3 months of training as a data analyst. One way to show or one way to prove that fact is that in your portfolio, you are able to present the different projects you have worked on. So for example, if you're given or if you're invited to an interview for a job, what you can do to showcase your experience as a data analyst is to take the projects you have done, which will be on your GitHub and on your LinkedIn, and then demonstrate to your to the prospective employers the skills that you applied whilst doing those projects. And a lot of times these are always related to real world problems. So for example, you have a massive organization, you have a massive supermarket, say like Market Square, and a big supermarket, and they have an issue, they have a problem, and they need a data analyst. And you're able to take data sets like that and do your analysis and put it in your profile. That is a real world problem. Or say you are doing data analysis for an airport. An airport is a massive organization with lots and lots of data they are tracking, historical data, and of course we know the importance of that kind of industry. They are trying to ensure that delays are reduced and that commuters and people using the facilities are able to have the best experience. So a data analyst will come into that kind of organization, take the data and bring a very useful analysis that will help the airport to make informed decisions. We also have governments. We have agencies of government that deals with millions and millions of our data. And if these data are analyzed and managed efficiently, it will have a very good effect even on the citizens. So we have, for example, FRSC. If you're going to the federal if you're going to the road agency to get your, say, your license or to get some information from them, the quality of the service that you get from them will depend largely on how their data is being managed. So whether you're a civil servant or whether you're a consultant for these kind of organizations like the government agencies, your skill as a data analyst will come in very handy. Finally, I also want to highlight how that data analytics helps Nigerians seeking opportunities even abroad. Now, data analytics is an area, is an industry that is not just confined to one location or one region or one continent. It's now something that is with us. It's something that is in all our industries, and it's also something that is applied globally. So the skills you will get as a data analyst after the training with us will come in handy and will give you opportunities in countries like Canada, the US, the UK, and Germany. Data analysts are in high demand, and the salaries are also very attractive. So not just in Nigeria, not just in our industries and government, but also globally, your skill, your experience as a data analyst provides you with lots of opportunities, even globally. So thank you very much. This is just a brief lecture on the non-technical parts. So this is just to highlight data analytics in the workplace, and also how to take advantage of websites like GitHub and LinkedIn to showcase your portfolio, and then also to highlight the opportunities even in getting jobs abroad from Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Doctor. So he has dealt with so many aspects. At the end of this training, we'll still come back to that. I believe you are noting your questions down because there'll be question and answers. Okay, so this is machine learning basics. Zara has spoken wonderfully about data analytics. Doctor has also spoken about the prospects, what it stands to gain, how it's being applied. But practically, machine learning puts it into practice. Machine learning starts with AI. I believe we all know what AI is. AI is an aspect of computer science whereby computer or machines mimic the cognitive functions of human beings. You know, your thinking aspect, your thinking faculty, ability of a computer to be able to mimic that intelligence, that cognitive functions, that is what AI is. So, and in AI, AI has several components. There's the component of machine learning. There's a component of natural language processing. All these your ChatGPT, that's natural language processing. There's computer vision. There's robotics. There's neural networks and a couple of others. So, but we'll be delving into machine learning. Machine learning has a way of getting into all these aspects. Okay, so the outline. So introduction to machine learning, Python for machine learning categories, machine learning techniques, then machine learning. So introduction, what is machine learning? I said machine learning is one of the components of AI. You've been using it on your phone, ChatGPT, Access Door, your Uber, banking applications, a lot of things. So you've been interacting with it possibly, but you didn't know that it's machine learning. So what is machine learning? Machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence such that machine learns from data. You know, we just talked about data analytics. So machine, that is computer learning from data, is like pattern recognition, recognizing, okay, this is the pattern, how things are being done. Then it follows that based on how your pattern is in the data. So introduction. So let's begin with a practical example. Looking at what you're seeing on my screen right now, that is a section of a human cell that was cut from part of a body. It's perceived to be cancerous. So it's either benign or malignant. When you say benign, that means it's not as risky, but when you say malignant, that means the state of cancer is on a high side. So, but you know, previously it takes several years of experience who's able to predict and tell you maybe you are the cell is susceptible to cancer or not. But with machine learning, it can predict whether a cell is benign or malignant. So these are some of the applications of machine learning. But going further, the data there shows samples of different cells that have been gathered over the years. I hope my screen is visible enough. From the table there, you can see on the columns there, you see clump. That's a particular item on that row is that's a clump size of 5, uniformity of size, uniformity of shape, marginal adhesion. That's a typical characteristic of a particular cell. And at the end, you see something like class. Sorry, is it visible enough? Okay, very small. Okay. So at the end, it shows maybe the class is either cancerous or not cancerous. Okay, don't worry. Since this is more like an introduction, I'll move to much. It's a conflict between Windows and Mac. They are both conflicting. Okay, so machine learning can help you. It can help you in predicting whether a cell is cancerous or not cancerous. Of machine learning, I said, is a subfield of computer science that gives computers the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. If maybe in your days in secondary school or university, you learned about programming, you must have heard about maybe programs like C, C++, maybe Fortran or things like that. But instead of you writing programs, these days, machine learning is is a subfield that helps you. Instead of you writing programs, it learns from the data itself. So it saves you the act of writing programs. But there are still some elements of programming which you see along the way. So it says it's a branch of AI that covers the statistics of that's what machine learning does. So how does it work? Like a typical example, if you look at, I think in the past, to machine learning, if you are to give an example of how it recognizes maybe like animals, maybe lion, birds, cats, they are to pass through a walkway. You need to write programs in the past that, okay, if it has tail, it should be this animal. If, then else. You need to write a lot of programs. But with the advent of machine learning, it just needs to recognize that this animal has passed through here. Then once another type of similar animal passes through, it has recognized that pattern. It has stored it in memory. So in that case, you don't have to be writing if, else, writing those programming languages. So that's just like the basic description of machine learning. So what are the real life examples of machine learning? We talked about pattern recognition. It applies everywhere. Recognizing patterns. Like the example of that I gave earlier, talking about the cancerous human cell. Thousands of human cells were gathered. Thousands of human cells data were gathered and they were analyzed. It could be done through analyzing it, maybe pre-processing, cleaning, doing all sorts of things. But at the end, what do you need those data for? To be able to deduce whether a human cell is cancerous or not. You can build, that's what it does. Like speech recognition, somebody can mimic your voice. If, as I'm talking now, you can pick my voice, store it, pick thousands of other people's voices, and it recognizes that I sound like it. And you can even deliver a speech. Machine learning can deliver a speech with my voice just because it picked a sample of my voice. So that's a practical example of machine learning. That speech recognition, it could be facial. If you go to a particular website, there's a website called, if you're online, maybe next time we can check this person does not exist.com. If you type it on your browser, this person does not exist.com. It will give you an image of a person. That person doesn't exist. If you refresh again, it will give you another person. They don't, those humans, they look human, they look like human beings, but they don't actually exist. Why? Machine learning is able to recognize patterns of pictures, people's nose, people's ear. So it's able to make a lot of combinations of such and make predictions. So we'll talk about predictive analytics, self-driving cars, finance, like loan applications. It uses machine learning to be able to predict whether this person is going to defect or not, based on your credit rating, your spendings. So based on past data, but data needs to be worked on by a data analyst before it comes into application. Customer service, fraud detection, like to be able to detect fraud, maybe on ATM machines, there are machine learning applications that you can deploy for that. Movie recommendation, you go on YouTube, you watch a video, you'll be surprised that maybe you watch a video from a particular channel or an artist, it will recommend similar artists to you. That is machine learning. You go on Amazon, you buy a book, it recommends a similar book to you. That is machine learning. That's recommendation system. On Facebook, it suggests friends to you. Perhaps maybe that person was a friend, similar friend. So machine learning at the back end, that it does that. Facial recognition, just like I talk about, just like speech recognition, the same thing. I've talked about that in the health aspect also. So, and behind this machine learning is what we call, is a programming language called Python. I believe you must have been hearing Python a lot. So Python is not new. It's not the only programming language available. There are several programming languages available, but people have adopted Python and is like the language of AI now. Even for data analysis, that's the main language. So what is Python? Python is a popular and powerful general purpose programming language. It distinguishes itself from other programming languages by its flexibility, simplicity, and reliable tools. So people have developed libraries, we call them libraries, so that you just go and pick. If you need maybe something on face recognition, just go to the library, it does that for you. If you need something on voice recognition, there are libraries that does that. So, and there are algorithms that does that, and there are Python libraries which we'll talk about that helps you to get into that. Some of the popular libraries are NumPy for numerical calculations and algorithms. There's SciPy, mostly for scientific Python. When you see that pi, that means it talks about Python. Num, that's number, then py, that's pi. Then Sci, scientific calculations. Matplotlib for helping you plot graphs, images, things like that. Then Pandas. Pandas is another Python library that you can use a lot for a lot of numerical and mathematical calculations. Then there's what we call scikit-learn. Scikit-learn is a collection of machine learning algorithms which you can use to build your models. You get to know more about some of these terms later, terminologies later. We've talked about artificial intelligence, we've talked about machine learning, we've talked about libraries, we've talked about algorithms, we've talked about models. With time, you get used to. Perhaps you've been hearing people talking about algorithms, you don't really know what it is. But these are some of the things we try to do to democratize knowledge so that we make it really easily available for you. So I've talked about what NumPy does, what SciPy does, Matplotlib, the Pandas library. So scikit-learn, I said, is a free machine learning library. And some of the algorithms, some of the techniques, machine learning techniques, most common ones are these ones that I've stated here: classification, regression, clustering. So scikit-learn has a collection of all these things. So instead of you going to write code that might take you years, people have gone behind and put them together. You just need to go to your scikit-learn. Maybe you need to do something on this, it helps you. But it still looks strange to you. Perhaps maybe you're just getting to know about this, but with time, will bring you into practical application of how it works. So this is the typical example of how it is applied. Sorry about the code. It looks somehow, but scikit-learn, instead of you writing long codes, it can just help you simplify your process. So with just like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like 10 codes, it simplifies your work. All you just need to do is import the necessary libraries and you get to use it. So back to our machine learning. There are basically 3 categories of machine learning, though some will tell you it is 2. But to the body of knowledge, there's been other, the third one, which is reinforced learning. So machine learning can be categorized into supervised learning and unsupervised learning. So the third one is the reinforcement learning. So what is supervised learning? It deals with labeled data, while unsupervised learning deals with unlabeled data. So you wonder what is labeled, what is unlabeled. Let me give you a practical example. We had a training last week. I think we delved much about labeled and unlabeled. Like in fraud detection system, let's say credit card fraud detection or ATM card fraud detection. You can have a banking transaction that, you know, when you register with the bank, they take your name, your email, a lot of things about you. So for every transaction you do, there are also other corresponding details. The amount maybe that was withdrawn, the balance, the location where you carried out the transaction, the time, the country of residence, you know, where you did the transaction. Perhaps you've been doing your transactions in Abuja or Lagos, and this time around, they now see that your transaction is done in Cotonou or Niger. So a machine learning application, in most banking applications, they are integrated such that it can detect maybe why you carrying out this transaction in a different location. So it can flag as fraudulent. That is why in US or in outside countries, once they see transactions mostly coming from Nigeria, they flag it as potential fraud. So you can develop a model such that you have all your data, then at the end, it's able to tell you whether it is fraudulent or not fraudulent. So that case, you know that for let's say you have 100,000 transactions, then at the end, you have rows and columns. At the end, it shows you maybe fraudulent or not fraudulent. That's the end result, fraudulent or not fraudulent. That one is what we call labeled data. But what if in the case it is not specified as fraudulent or not fraudulent? It is now left for you to go and carry out your prediction. So the one that is labeled is what we just called supervised learning. Then the one that is unlabeled, in that case of banking transaction, is unsupervised learning. Let me just leave it at this stage because we don't want it to get so complex. But we'll provide materials on these and further trainings on that. So what is reinforcement learning? So reinforcement learning, it mimics how people learn from data daily by adapting to changes. You know, it's more like a combination of supervised and unsupervised. So it's a kind of reinforcement pattern. So back to the next section. We have regression, we have classification, we have decision trees, clustering, recommendation system. So so the simplest of this technique is regression. We don't have the time now, but like what you can see on the screen here, a typical example, let's say we have this table of showing different CO2 emissions of based on different cars, based on different engine size, cylinders, fuel consumption. Okay, you can see for engine size of 2.4, we have CO2 emission of 221. So it continued like that. So these are the records of different engine size and CO2 emissions. So let's say you are bringing in an engine size of 2.4, and you don't know the CO2 emission. From the table, you can see, sorry, the first item you see on the left, it shows 0, 1, 2, 3, to 8, 9. That's like your serial number. The number of rows. That is the 0. The first one talks about the first one is 0. Second one is 2, 3. But we have 9 rows. That's what we're trying to, or 10 rows. That's what we're trying to do here. So the first 9 rows, we have the CO2 emissions. It is labeled. Then the last one there doesn't have, is unlabeled. You are asked to find out. So you can build a machine learning model such that it can predict what an engine size, with an engine size of 2.4, what the CO2 emission will be. So that's a practical example of application of regression. So what is regression technique? We can use regression models, methods to predict a continuous value such as CO2 emission using some other variables. So indeed, regression is the process of predicting a continuous value. So normally in regression, there are 2 variables. There's what we call the dependent variable and the independent, one or more independent variable. You know, like in your, maybe your basic maths, mathematics in school, there's Y, there's a X, Y-axis, then there's the X-axis. The Y-axis is the dependent variable, while the X-axis is the independent variable. Most of the time, they tell you Y is a function of X. So the X can be plenty, but Y can be only one. So like this table you see now, so your X-axis are the engine size, cylinders, consumption, combination, then the Y-axis, that's the output, is the CO2 emission. So you can do a plot of your Y against your X. So that's the simplest example of application of regression. So with these values now, you can see, you can use Power BI, just like Zara talked about. You can use it to plot a graph to achieve this. So you can see, let's say we pick engine size as one value, as our X value on our X axis, then the CO2 emission is what we have on the Y axis. So plotting this data now, we'll get something like this. We call this scatter diagram. So what machine learning helps you to do is there is what we call a fit line. It's able to make predictions that, okay, the fit line is the line that where your data are supposed to point to. You're supposed to pick a point on them. So the deviations from this line is what will help you to be able to calculate your error in whatever model you build. We don't want to get deep into this, but we are just telling you how data analytics apply, how you apply data analytics. The data you gather, where it is being applied, all those speech recognition, they analyze them and they're able to develop models, develop applications that you use. So these are some of the things. What are the applications of regression? In sales forecasting, you can be able to forecast sales. You can be able to predict satisfaction analysis. You can use it to estimate price, even employment income. Maybe someone at this certain age who has this certificate, this qualification, who does this thing. This is the expected income. You can use it to make predictions. So these are some of the applications. So what are some of the practical examples of machine learning application? Like the first thing you see here in speech and image recognition, we mentioned that earlier. Traffic alerts using Google Map, that's machine learning. Chatbot that you see, that's machine learning. Google Translation, that's machine learning. Prediction, extraction, statistical arbitrage. Auto friend tagging, it tags friends, maybe on your social media. Self-driving cars, that's machine learning. Ads, recommendation adverts to you on social media. Video surveillance, email filtering your mails, real-time dynamic pricing, gaming and education, virtual assistants that you see all around, that's the application of machine learning. This is more like an introduction, but we hope to have more of these interactions with you. Actually, this is a free seminar. We do more of in-house training, both online and physical training, virtual and on-site training. So where you get to know more about these, it depends, and it also depends. Maybe you are someone who likes exploring. You want to be able to build a web application websites like Google, like YouTube, like Facebook, they use machine learning to do all those things. All those friends that have been recommended to you on Facebook, that's machine learning. You can build structures like that. You can have, maybe you belong to an organization, you can build systems to customize things for them. And these are practical. AI is getting into all fields, in health, in finance, in different sectors. Like I told you, we had a training last week for one of Nigeria's anti-graft agencies, and we provided training on data analytics and how this thing are being applied. And they were surprised that, so we've been interacting with this and we didn't know all this while, and we are building further on it. So that is one of the reasons why we are making this knowledge available to you. You see the prospect, you see, like Doctor said earlier, the prospect, maybe you're someone, you're working somewhere, you need to attach it to your CV that you've worked on this certain project before. Yeah, why not? We provide internship opportunities where you can add it to your portfolio, your CVs, as one of the projects you've worked on before.
Sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir. Sorry.
Okay, so we are practical in our delivery. We don't just talk theories, we'll let you know how it's been applied. So it goes beyond just analyzing data. If you want to go further, why not? If you want to use it to make presentations, or you're into academics, yeah. So this is a particular case study. You can use machine learning to detect deception. I think I had some time ago that at Murtala Mohammed Airport in Lagos, there's an AI. They call it, once you hear AI, just know that behind it has machine learning application behind it, where they use it. It can scan through your eye and tell you if you are, and be able to predict if you are lying or not. Maybe NDLE officers, they are interrogating you, and how are they able to know? Your heartbeat, your facial expression, a lot of things that machine will just pick instantly from you. So these are practical application of machine learning. So if, let's say you are into advocacy, CSOs, non-governmental agencies, why not? Machine learning finds its way there in public policy making, how you can use data-driven predictive modeling for social good. Like I said, we had a training all through last week. After the training, we asked people to provide feedback. Yeah, they provided their feedback. They actually wrote it in paper form. So, but we needed to present a report of our trainings. So after that, because they were quite bulky and much, who will have the time to now start going through all of them one by one? We used phone, we snapped the reports, we converted from image, we converted to PDF. From PDF, we asked AI to analyze what people wrote, and is able to analyze every section for us and presented the summary for us. So that is machine learning. These are some of the practical applications. And when we presented it to the people, they say, wow, this is great, this is wonderful. Instead of them going through long documents. So whether you have documents in 1,000 pages, AI and machine learning can help you analyze those data and process it for you. So as a data analyst, you will know the basics of those analysis, whether it is text, whether it is numerical data, whether it is categorical data, whether it is in Excel form. I believe Zara told you about structured and unstructured data. If you have them in Excel form, maybe it is structured table, that one is structured. But once you have them in form of emails, in form of PDF documents, Word documents, it is unlabeled, it is unstructured. But when machine learning application models can help you deduce those data and then even convert it back to structured data. So these are some of the things we help you to understand. We democratize knowledge. So concluding my presentation here, I said machine learning has transformed numerous fields by enabling systems to learn from data and make predictions or decisions without explicit programming. That's one thing you should take away from machine learning. Instead of you hours writing code, machine learning helps you to learn from data, pattern recognition. So as machine learning continues to evolve, the future holds potential for even greater integration of machine learning across industries. But fostering developments that improve quality of life, work, and drive economic growth. Thank you so much. I've come to the end of my presentation. This is just tip of the iceberg. We do more in our training sessions. We have more time. We are not restricted, although we don't have the luxury of all the time, but at least for the time that we are allowed for our trainings. And our trainings are mostly weekends. We do weekend trainings. There are other specialized trainings because at times, like I told you, we had engagements almost all through the week. We weren't even in the office. We were in another location. So, but Saturdays, you are calm. You are not being disturbed at your place of work. We have a conducive learning environment here. And whether it comes physically or you join virtually, this is what we do here. We encourage you. We also want to enjoy you to be part of our next training. We have a training coming up next Saturday is on data analysis, and that one we're going to take our time. We have people who knew nothing about data analysis before, and after the training, they could tell good stories, and they are like professionals. You understand? So, and what we also do is we give opportunity for internship, opportunity for you to build your portfolio. We know you cannot learn data analysis in 1 week. You can't learn it in 1 month. But what we do is that the follow-up, the mentorship we provide helps you to stay in touch with the facilitators, with live examples, and whether you're looking for work somewhere or you want to travel abroad, these skills are they're essential. And once they see that you've worked on these projects in the past, you have an edge over your other colleagues. And mind you, the world today doesn't celebrate certificates or paper. They celebrate what you can do, skills. So these are skills you need to learn, and we are here to help you with that. So we have a training coming up on Saturday. We're enjoying you to please be part of the training, and it's just for a token. It's not much. So you can go to our website, www.mexibog.com, and we can also share the details of the training for you. It's just 8 weekends, 8 Saturdays. And within that 8 Saturdays, you will learn Excel, you will learn Power BI, you will learn SQL. Tableau will also be introduced. Tableau is another aspect of is another powerful tool, data analysis tool. In fact, it's even more powerful than Power BI. So we'll introduce you to that also. Then Python, then the AI application where you use it to transform, you change the world around you. When you talk in your place of work or you're putting up your CV, they know you're grounded in this, and we don't joke with the quality of presentations. They are top notch. People make reference to it. In fact, while I was on this call, one of our clients was just calling me. It's because of this meeting that I couldn't pick the call. Is based on the recommendations of the training we had last week, which we are going to continue in phases. So we enjoy you to join us. Actually, we've taken much of your time because we are having connection issues earlier. But please, I believe you have questions. We'd like to hear from you, please. The floor is open.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, thank you very much for this light summary this morning. You said you have a program for next week Saturday.
Yes.
What is the timing and what is the token? You said it's a sport token, and what is the duration?
Yeah, when we said the token, it's it's relative.
Yeah, that's why I said token. I want to know now your definition of token.
Yeah. It's for 8 weekends, 8 Saturdays. Classes are open from 9 till 3 p.m. So you have all the time to learn. And if you are coming physically or you're joining virtually, you have the same privilege. You can ask questions in real time. And after the training, so can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
And after the training, you can have opportunity of access to the playback in case you don't understand anything during the lecture. So our lecturers there, they take their time because we understand that it has to be practical. It's not it's a top, it's one of, if not the top, one of topmost skill in the world right now. It's in high demand all over the world because it finds its way in every domain, every industry. So, and we're just charging, like I said, a token of just 150,000 naira only. And we allow for 2 installments. Can make a first installment of 100,000 and balance the remaining 50,000. But I can tell you at the end, you will even want to even add more because you discover you're gaining more than the money you are paying. So it's going to run for 8 weekends, 8 Saturdays, and we have our facilitators who will be live, talk with them, and even after training, there is mentorship. That is most important. Let me not lie to you. We can give you recommendation letter, like let's say like we can give you like 3 months or even 6 months. Why not? That you've worked on this project but you need to start the process of registering first. And after the training, we have a mentorship class where we mentor you. Then at the same time, you're building your portfolio of, let's say, 6 months of work or practical projects that you've worked on with us, which you can present anywhere. So I believe that answers the question, sir. So who asked the question? I wasn't looking at my screen. Okay, Mr. Paul Inti or NTI.
Yes. Will this training that is coming, will it still include the machine learning?
You said what?
The machine learning.
Yes. Machine learning is an extension of data analysis. You understand? You're applying what you have gotten in analyzing your data. That's like the application. You see, the ChatGPT that you are seeing,
yes,
there are millions of data that are being gathered and analyzed. So you now take those data to build models, to train models such that you ask it question, it gives you answers. So there's a connection. If you want to learn machine learning, you need data analysis. You can't
separate them.
You can't separate them. But there are those who are specialized in data analytics that even if you're a programmer or you're a web developer, I know people like I had someone I trained under several years ago. He's been able to provide some connections. I still even met him during the week. He's not more into AI. He knows software development, programming. But when it comes to AI, he came to me and he said, "Please, can you handle this aspect for me?" So if you know data analytics is a plus for you, whether you're a programmer, you know how to integrate it. A lot of people know maybe software development, but they don't know the aspect of data analytics and AI how to integrate it. And if you want to go further, we'll show you how to develop applications. Like YouTube, there's a particular web framework called Django, Django. That's what was used in building YouTube, Eventbrite, some aspect of Facebook, and a lot of applications like that. So depending, but this is just like a start. It's just like a start. So it helps you to know how the application aspect comes in. But not everybody is a web developer. Not everybody wants to go into machine learning, but at least in data analysis, you will know some aspects, how it applies to you.
So there will be a little of machine learning in what we are going to train us with.
Yes, there will. You will build models that you can see yourself that, that's what we're talking about, the portfolio. That this is what I was able to build after my training here. Yes. Which you can post on GitHub and share on LinkedIn, share with friends, and it boosts your profile. You can, if you're a contractor, you can use it to get contracts from governments. Or propose it to organizations. A lot of organizations are out there. They don't know, but the knowledge you gain here, you can use it when maybe you're talking in your management meeting and they hear you talk about things like this. I think we need to include this. So it can help you grow.
Can one enjoy a hybrid training with you for those who are living in Abuja?
Sure. If you're in Abuja, you can come physically. Then if you want to join online, yes, online and in real time. Our training is in real time. So for those who maybe if you miss a class, we provide the recorded class for you. Then if you don't understand an aspect, there's a forum where you can ask questions. Then during the week, we can find a way of scheduling like a revision before the next class. And why we allow 1 week interval is, not all of us learn at the same pace. Some of us are fast learners. Okay, so we will send you a link, but we encourage you. There's a class starting this Saturday, and it's going to run for 8 weeks. We have people already registered, and they are getting ready. Some of them are in this workshop, this seminar. So they're getting prepared. Even from the last 8 weekend training we had, from day one, people were really excited. The expectation was high, and they were glad their expectations were met. So thank you so much. In the absence of further questions, we'll provide the recorded session to you and also give you a link where you can subscribe for the training, and also to encourage you to follow us on our social media handles. We provide everything. Then tell someone about the trainings we do here, because it's going to help you. Does anybody have anything to say? Dr. Adejo, Zara? Do we have one of our graduates here as testimonial? Akindeji, would you like to speak? I know we've spent so much time. Okay, let me allow.
Hello. Okay, quickly, my name is Mutoni Akindeji. I'm a I'm a zonal manager for I don't know if you know of Winnock Microfinance Bank. So I came December, I'm a December graduate. I think it's in November. Yes, November graduate. So the training we did there, it was it helped me very, very well. Like he said, practical, you understand the way it helps practically. When we do management meetings now, I can be able to use, there's something I wanted to even explain. Let me try and switch my cameras. I'm trying to make it as fast as possible. There's something we use like maybe we have like account names, phone numbers of clients, payment amount of clients, and due dates of clients. From this, this training helped me to do that. I'm sharing it now. That's what I'm trying to show you guys. If you see this screen I shared, these are very critical information, so I cannot show you inside very well. But if you notice, it has account name, it has phone number, it has payment amount, it has due date. So from this training, what it was able to help me to do was that now this thing can just be in an Excel format like this. But with the help of Power BI now, if you notice now, this is something I did since last year, this November. See what I was able to create with it. I don't know if you guys are saying this. This is practical. This is just practical explanation. From there now, if you notice, there was payment amount on the Excel sheet. Sorry, I'm trying to be as fast as possible because we are closing. You can see account name, you can see phone number, payment amount, and due date. But from now, you can just say, okay, like if you're as a data analyst, you can say, okay, on which date are we getting the most payments? In my management meeting now, instead of just looking at this, now I can project this into Power BI. When I project this into Power BI, when my managers, when my CEOs, when they see this, when I did it for one of my CEOs, he was really surprised because where did this guy know about this from? Do you understand? Now look at it. You can see that on the 11th of this is 11. I'm sorry, it's not very bright. If you notice, this is 11th of the month. On every 11th of the month, we have very high amount of payments. On 11th of every month, we are expecting about 3 million naira. So just not looking at the Excel sheets, if I use this and explain when we are in management meeting, it's like the way they really clap for you. I don't know. So any organization you are into, this Power BI it really, really helps. And this is just from how many weeks training? Just from 8 weeks training. See what I was able to do. Just on my own, I can create this. I can tell them from there, okay, we are expecting the lowest payment on the 4th of every month. On 4th of every month, we're expecting only 62,000. I can tell my portfolio manager now that, okay, on 4th of every month, you don't need to do too much calling. You can just call only one person that we're expecting 62,000. But please, on the 11th of the month, you need to really, really, you need to be on your toes because we're expecting a lot of money on that month, on that day of the month. So this is just a practical explanation of what this training was able to teach me and what I was able to do in my place of work. So I believe this way. So from anywhere you are, even though you've not gotten a job or anything you are doing, you can come here, you can get practical real life examples of how you can be able to transition it into anywhere you work. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, so we've come to the absence of other questions, come to the end of this seminar. We hope you benefited a lot. Expect feedback. Please, thank you so much for your time. We'll be doing more of these free seminars, but you know that these ones it's just little you can get. The most important is the one we do in-house. We train you, you have all the time, luxury of time to ask anything. So once again, I appreciate everyone who has been part of this training, the resource persons, Dr. Chonu Adejo, Zara Mala, Bukamala, Akindeji, Motoni, and myself. So thank you so much. Till we meet next time. We'll send this recording to you. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.